Okay, guys. We're doing this again. Can anyone tell me if they're seeing me with the video that's not been interrupted? I moved to a different spot. It said that we were interrupted. My name is DrSharnael, Wolverton-Sehon. I am so excited right now to talk to you a little bit about Cymatics and the name and the power of your name and the science behind your name. All right, Stephanie and Carlin. All right, good to see you guys. Lisa, good morning. Awesome. I'm going to do this one more time. I choose to have smooth technical things going on. Right. Awesome. So I'm DrSharnael Wolverton-Sehon, and I love science. I'm going to talk to you and geek out a little bit, Catherine, on what's going on with your name and the importance of your name. I choose to do this, and this is fun and easy. Bob Jones was and is my spiritual dad. He still comes to me in dreams, so this is kind of cool. I like that vibe. He stressed to us, all of us who grew up being mentored by him, about the very importance of your name. Your name is so important biblically and just verbally and quantumly. And I had this book. John Paul Jackson had given me a book like this years ago, and it actually goes into the study of names, your name. You could look it up alphabetically, and it gives the scripture reference and the root connotation. And so I'd study that for years, and sometimes when I would pray for people, I would get names, because what you study, you make room for. And sometimes prophetically, you know, you get into that vibe where you could feel something, and I'd say, does this name mean anything to you, or what have you? And they'd say, oh, that's my middle name, or that's this, or whatever, and I'd look it up, and it would mean something to them. So your first name, according to Bob, would say, your first name is who you are, and your middle name is your call. That's very, very important. And so your first name meaning the name that you are called, and then in your middle name meaning, you know, your middle name, really. So I know in other countries it's different. They call it your second name or whatever. So I'm not talking about your last name. I'm talking about your actual middle name. Now, biblically, we know that there are people who had name changes, and there's different things that went along with that. And I'm going to go into some of that here today. But because when we're pregnant now, we can even know the sex of a child. Sometimes people are named before they're born, or even before conception, which is kind of cool. If God gives that gives that to you even earlier, and there's a vibration, and that sound of your name is actually a vibe. Now with Cymatics, I just watched a documentary on this. I talked about this in the last video that for some reason wasn't working. Cyma is root. It's a root Greek word, which means vibration or frequency. The scriptures talk about we wrestle not against flesh and blood. That word wrestle means we vibrate. So we vibrate not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, So vibration is super cool and very much in the Bible. And we are a vibration. We are a sound. And when, with the study of Cymatics, they actually took this like a metal plane, and they put sand on it, and then the guy had like a bow like you would use in a violin to play, or a cello, and he would rub the bow against this metal, and when he would hit certain notes, then the sand would move and it would form these patterns. And what's interesting is it wasn't just once or twice, but every single time he said a certain note, that note would create a certain pattern. This note would create a certain pattern. This note would create a certain pattern. And it would every single time be the same pattern based on whatever the sound was. And what the guy said on the documentary, the narrator, who, I mean, it just like hit me. I mean, cancel hit me. It was like, whoa. When he said this, he said that we now know that when you change the sound, you change the pattern. What does that mean to you and me? Okay. Yeah, this is kind of cool and pretty serious because, hold on, let me make sure that this is off. Allow, no, wait. If we change the pattern on the inside of who we are, if we change the sound within, we change the pattern within and without, because it goes not only in, but into the biofield all around us, which changes the patterns that come to us, because as you know, this heart is electric. The heart is the most electric organ in your body, 500,000 times more electric than the rest of your organs. Whatever you think on, whatever you say, whatever you talk about, whatever you feel is so important, because that is a connection to your heart. Your heart makes a sound based on your thoughts and what you're thinking and what you're saying. That sound goes out through your cells, into your body, and through all your biofield, and then you only get what you are. You cannot get anything but a match to what you are. So if you see anything mirrored that you don't like, that's coming to you, you have to ask yourself, what am I doing to create this? What's in me that's unconscious, that I choose to be awake and to clear out so those things don't come to me anymore? And with your sound, you can decree and cancel out, neutralize some things within the subconscious, so when that goes out, that it's a new sound with a new pattern. Ta-da! Abracadabra, just like that. The Hebrew word abracadabra, it basically talks about how you manifest what you choose and what you say. We get what we choose, what we say. Voice your choice, in other words. So I thought it was really interesting because they went a step further to even naming animals, talking about animals, and when they would do certain sounds, it would create pictures almost like animals, like the back of a tortoise shell, or the stripes of a zebra, or the pattern of a leopard or a giraffe. And it's like, wow, okay, so think about it. Adam, who was given the authority to name all the animals, when he spoke the names and created the names for each and every animal, it created a pattern. It was a pattern that actually manifested through the cells and on their fur, and is forever there because we keep speaking that over these animals, and the pattern stays. And guess what? When we speak the name of God, guess what? Pattern. When we speak God I am in us, pattern. When I speak my name over me, then that's a pattern. There's a pattern, a vibe within that sound. My name actually means, my name, my mom dreamed it. She was given the name from the Lord, DrSharnael. Sharna, which means, it's Hebrew for rose or warrior. And I didn't know this until my 20s, and my mom definitely didn't know this. Of God, E-L. Sharna, E-L. It's spelled very specific. It's not spelled like it sounds. It's spelled the way it is, because it's like Israel, of God. Sharna, of God, meaning rose and warrior of God at the same time. Kind of cool. I thought that was kind of cool. That's my first name. My middle name is D, D-E-E, which means love. I'm only giving you this information because I choose for you to look into this on your own and find out what's going on with you and why you vibe the way you do and why you see things and feel things and experience things the way you do based on your name. So my first name is who I am. My middle name is my call. D means love. Okay. Now, because water is in me, my brain is 90% water. My body is whatever, 78% water. And water has an innate ability and sensitivity to hold and resonate sound and vibration more than anything else. And because this is all in us, as things are spoken over us and to us, it holds. It holds throughout our whole body. And again, it goes into our cells and into the biofield. And so, like I said, thinking about Adam, naming the names, but also think about biblically how people had their names changed at different times. Why did they have a name change? Because God was calling something that was not as though it is. He was bringing an inside, internal change, and an outside by them having a new name spoken over them to bring a new pattern, to bring a new biofield, to bring a new pattern of what comes in the biofield, because it can only create a match. Or is anyone with me? Is anyone getting this? Are you guys as excited as I am? This is super, super cool and really amazing. I love that the science is backing up all of this. And when I had a name change myself for the first time, this is why this all came into existence, of me even understanding the power of this. I've studied names for 2 decades, and I've studied vibration and sound, but this is a new level because I actually had to go through a name change. And I've never felt to take anyone's name in the past. But this time I knew that Lord was showing me to change my last name to Sehon, which is my husband's name. So now I am DrSharnael D. Wolverton-Sehon. I kept all my names, and that's what I felt I was supposed to do. You do whatever you do. But when I went to the Social Security office to do the first steps of the name change, it actually misspelled and or took off my middle name. Now, on a legal standpoint, there is such power to contracts, to written things. Of course, on a spirit level or on a frequency vibration level, I know who I am. And so it didn't matter if they spelled it wrong. But there was a little hiccup in the quantum field there for about a month, because it took 30 days for them to change it, where D was no longer. And that's love, and that's part of my call. So I was adamant about going back and having them change it. Now their rules are that we can't change anything within 30 days. So I waited my 30 days and not only got D changed back to really me, D, my call, my love, me being love, and I had Sehon added, which, so for my driver's license and everything else now, it's DrSharnael D. Wolverton-Sehon. Now Sehon actually, honey, as in sweetness. There is a change going on within me. There's a new sound. I'm something else. I'm somebody else. I'm me. And yet, as this is being spoken over me, and as people are connecting me on an even thought process level, or seeing me on Facebook with a new name, there's a new sound. There's a new pattern. It's coming in and it's going out. Where I see honey, my perception is I see honey. I see good in everything. I see love in everything. I not only felt love and am love, but now I see love. And so God is the only power and presence that's acting to me, through me, and me around me. I only see through God's eyes, and I only see and have perception of the whole thing. Now, has it been 30 days of adjustment into the new name? Yes. And will there may be more? Who knows? I choose to know. I choose a happy vibration of, like, whatever. And I know that there's stuff going on kinetically and in the world too that we're all adjusting to. But I say all this to you so maybe you can internalize and look, because since you were born, you've had this name that you have, and that's been spoken over to you. In the last 2 days, I've had a couple of people who said something weird on my Facebook, and I noticed what their name is. And their name was very significant, because if you could see what their name is, it wasn't a name that I would choose, because it was a negative last name for both of these people. And I thought, wow, I wonder if they can even help it, because I mean, we get to choose whatever, but if your name is something negative, like on paper, and it's something spoken over you over and over and over again, that's the sound that's within. That's the sound that goes out. Do you even have a choice? I guess you could override anything with your choice, but I found it almost comical that this was actually they had both had two different names, which, again, it wasn't something I would ever choose. And I was like, why would your parents name you that? But no judgment. So check out what your name is. Check out this book. Like I said, you could get it on my website, swiftfire.org, or get it at Amazon or whatever. You don't have to get it from me. And look, let me show you this too. This book Caroline Boudreau told me about. It's an Australian author. It's called God's Poetry, The Identity and Destiny Encoded in Your Name, by Anne Hamilton. Anne Hamilton. There's her name, which is important. I read this like maybe 4 or 5 years ago. I choose to know. And I'm telling you, this goes into science after science after science of names. So again, I've never had to personally live through a name change yet. This is my first time to do that. And so seeing the disruptor and not disruptor, but seeing the adjustment period in that has been interesting, and caused me to look more into cymatics and check out what this whole thing is with vibration and frequency, and why is this such a big deal. So check it out for you. I hope this has helped you guys. I hope you guys will continue this journey of finding out what waves are all about, and really, really look at the scriptures differently about these name changes and animals being called this, and what You know, name calling and arguments is terrible. Judgments in your mind and or name calling, don't do it. Let's use kindness. Let's see love and speak love and be love. And I love all of you. I send all of you light. If you're not my friend on Facebook, hit the follow button real quick. It's right up there and you'll get these videos every day. You can also go to Divine Science and the Human Body group. It's a private group that has these videos and some private videos that aren't so public. So check those out. Of course, you can see me on YouTube. Those are all public. Instagram, find me. I had a great day so far, and I'm going to have a great day now. It's an Ula day. It's a happy day. I'm going anyway. It was leg day. Yay. I'm strong. I am so strong, and so are all of you. You guys are light. I am light, and I love you. Talk to you soon. I'm glad I got to do this over again. Enjoy. Bye.